Hi, family of faith. I want to chat with you guys because the day has been a very bright reflecting of energy today. Where do I want to start at? Where do I want to start? I actually have done something that I've been wanting to do. I recently just spoke about it. This is why I say it's a bright energy reflecting aspect because yesterday I had just talked about something and it happened today. I read out, well, I didn't read out of it. I am receiving out of the King James version of the Holy Book, and I started reading out of it before, but I stopped as I was saying because it reminds me of reality. It makes me just want to pay more attention to my reality, or just make me stop and have to think a lot, and then I get distracted by other things, and then I totally forget about it. But it's not in a bad way when I say I get distracted. It's just when your level of awareness get awoken to things, you just get to navigate, and if that making sense. But before I even got to reading that today, I decided to text everybody in my phone pretty much, and most of the people on my phone is family. And just to say hi. My body is actually hurting, honestly. I didn't really want to go and do too much today, even though that's kind of just like, are you sure you didn't? I wanted to go out to the trail today personally. The weather was great today, but my hands are so sensitive still where I can't be out in certain temperatures without my hands getting swelled back up. So I was like, gotta be patient. Slowly but surely I'll be out there. But as I was saying, I was texting people on my phone, tell them, hey, just checking in on them, family. Just because I really was thinking about them. I wanted to know what they were up to. But the first one that texted me back was my sister, Shania, which it wasn't surprising to me. It was nice, but it wasn't surprising because the energy that she had. When you are in rhythm and harmony with people, it makes sense who replies back to you quickly. And my sister, Shania, I've realized we have a very well fine balance. We interested in the same things. Our level of awareness we receive in the same form of a way. So I enjoyed that part. And I know she enjoyed hearing from me just because, I'm a wonderful flower. But then my other sister responded back to me. And then my mom. And then last but not least, it was my uncle who responded back. And those people who responded back, it made the most sense. But where it actually began to resonate a lot was when my uncle texted me back. Actually, he called me. And right before he called me, my mom stared off in a different aspect than I expected her to. But I don't want to get stuck on that topic. But I feel like I should. Somehow, at certain important times in my life, somehow I always have a negative energy happen with me and my mom, where it's just like, what just happened? Like we were flowing very well, and then it just went left. Why? But then, as that happened, my uncle called me because I texted him, I waved like hi, and he finally responded back, and he called me. But in the process of him calling me, I was going to go and get to learn it out the Holy Book as until I've been speaking of and how I actually want to. But when I mentioned him yesterday, this is the part where it's just like, oh my God, this is so intriguing. The universe don't play and get things done quickly. I just was speaking of him yesterday as into he's in the crystals, and I would like to actually learn about crystals. But I was also saying I would like to learn out the Holy Book. And both of those same aspects came together very quickly. And that's what we talked about too. We talked about crystals. We didn't talk about the Holy Book because we didn't get that far into it. But the information that we talked about was so beneficial to what I learned out this Holy Book in Genesis 3. I have talked about Genesis 1, which I have gotten stuck on in that. I haven't got farther than that so far. Even though I used to like just randomly like skip pages and go through it, I read different chapters instead of just starting from the beginning. But that's what I was saying. As I was saying, when I started in Genesis, I guess it's called Genesis 1, I got stuck on the light part, the light and the dark. I really feel that the light is a woman because I have gotten enlightened to realize the sun energy is a woman. It is a woman. The eternal side is a woman. And the dark is a guy. And it gets really intriguing in that aspect for me. Because even with me going back over it today, I feel like even in that aspect, it just got flipped. Because it said he created woman and man. It wasn't light and dark. They were already there. It's just he made them whole over it all. You know, the land. But I don't want to get stuck on that part. I'm still learning that part, honestly. Moving on to Genesis 3. It was speaking of the servant and how you were not supposed to eat from certain trees. And these trees is coming off in the form of families. When people say, what came first? You know, what culture was first? These trees were those people. And you were not supposed to consume of certain parts or certain trees. And for me, it feels like it's in the same family aspect. You were not supposed to consume of your same tree form, if that makes sense. They say you would die, but that feels like an energy of dying and being reborn. You are aware of what you have done, if that makes sense. But I feel like I'm skipping something. Oh, we were talking about crystals. I'm going to go back and talk about that. We were talking about the crystals. And I was saying that I didn't know what that was. But I really did. I just didn't realize it works off a color base of protecting your energy. So I actually did know. I just was unaware of it. Was the same aspect. It's just a protection form. Which is nice because I got mines already on me unawarely. But it was funny because his favorite one happened to be the same color form that I have on me. And I was going to tell him, but we got so busy talking about something else where it's like, he had to go back to work where I didn't get to tell him, like, how so intriguing. And in this aspect, what makes this energy so intriguing is because I know something has happened with me and my uncle as I was younger. And now we're connected together. And each time he speaks to me, he always is talking about the root chakra and how he's protecting it. Which I talked about this in the video I made already. I shared it on YouTube. I can't think off the top of my head what I titled it, but it's when I first got reunited back with him. And he was showing me his house and things like that. And I had seen his bed, and his sheets was yellow. I was like, oh my God, that's a strength area. This is the part when it comes to Genesis that is triggering to me because my level of awareness is bringing me back into the same energy as into me being an adult. Would I still make that same decision? Even though I see how beneficial it is, like the way this energy coming off is like, it would be very beneficial for me to have intercourse with my uncle. The level of yeah, pardon me, my energy, it's like I'm trying to focus, but I got other energies flowing around me right now. I just don't want to get distracted, even though I keep feeling like I am. So I really have to think. But what was I saying? I know that it would be very beneficial, and it's just intriguing as into never was a person who just was like, oh my God, you should do things like this. I even feel a certain type of way, honestly, that I'm even thinking that way. But I am aware of the level of awareness that comes in it when they say you will gain wisdom, but you will be naked. And in that aspect, I wrote notes down, but I'm trying to remember in my head, honestly. I didn't write them down, screenshot them just to keep them, but Oh my God, this music distracted me. Because it's not a full statement of a trueness when it comes to that aspect. That's what I mean. It's like that sermon energy of they say the snake, I'm going to say the snake in the way that form that I learned it. It seemed like this energy was already present and available. Like that they even knew that. Oh man, my brain. I can't freaking concentrate. It's driving me crazy. I was gonna hold off on even recording. It's like I should wait till tomorrow, but it's like I don't want to forget what I'm saying, and how I'm feeling within this moment. That's the beauty of like things like this, Bible study, or you read something or watch something or hear something, you want to talk about it, and that's where I'm at. But it's just hard at the moment because I have a lot of different energies around me where I can't really focus, not have to listen. I need silence, honestly. But that's what I mean. It's like, but boy, I can't really think. It's driving me crazy. It's like I have the answers. I have it all. I just have to get it out, and it's just like, oh my Jesus, something that seems so simple is coming off to be so difficult. But what was I saying? Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Oh my God. I never thought I would be the one who would think that type of form of a way, but as I was saying, I have learned the benefit of that energy, honestly, where you will reflect each other in a beneficial way. It's just the part that got me and it was intriguing when I was reading that, which made me go over it again. It said that they hid, and then they heard the voice of God. It was through people. It was through people. It was through people. There was no way that they just heard just actually him, like he just was speaking out the sky or something. It was amongst the people because a woman is one with everything. I believe that's even why she knew to do it. And that part got me, honestly, just because it comes off as to, do the creator really know everything? Like, how did I know that you created this, but if this was to happen, that this would happen, but was told not to do it. At the same time told, people not to do it. That's where it gets me. But I do know as into there is a lot of confusion now because of it, because people manipulate it and things like that. It's not an actual pure aspect like it's supposed to be. This is I'm speaking in the family form of a tree. There was other trees, but this seemed like it could have been other cultures or things of that nature. But this one is specifically, I want to say an incest form, but we wouldn't use incest in it, but it's a family tree where you're not supposed to dabble within that same aspect. You have all this other available, do not dabble within your own. And I am one of them guilty ones of doing that unaware ofly. And it's intriguing to me because I have talked about this aspect and I was unaware as into why I fell from the sky when I was younger. I had a dream that I fell from the sky. Which I talked about it recently as an adult as to, I went to Pluto, I was translating for Pluto, and I fell from the sky. And I got in trouble for drinking dirty water. My water was not clean. And it is making sense now as into that's something you were not supposed to do. You dabbled in that tree at a young age. So I thought that was so intriguing. Like, oh my God. But then what triggered me also is she gave parts of it to her spouse. And he ate of it. This energy takes me back into... I have to give examples like this just because I've realized for this teaching of a learner aspect, it's coming in people experiences. It's not just all based off this book, even though it is, but experiences, like I would say real life experiences, is the answers, if that makes sense. That's why I have to explain it in this form of a way. It takes me into a situation that has happened with my son, where he was sexually active with my partner. It seems to be that same energy. I have to look that part up. Was that... This is something that I had screenshotted because it's important. I guess I can read it. I'm looking for a specific part though. This is so freaking deep. It's so intriguing. Boy. It goes part of with that curse aspect. Because you ate from it and you weren't supposed to. That's why they say you have trauma and it repeats over and over and over and over generationally. It's that energy. And the spouse seemed like, since he did it and he knew he wasn't supposed to, he get the consequences too. Even though he is supposed to listen to his spouse. That's the intriguing part. And the spouse is the female is the spouse mind over everything. So she would know. That's the part that gets me. But what also got me was a separation form. I feel like I'm all over the place. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm all over the place with this. The separation. Purposely put a separation between the man and the woman. And to curse like the generations to come. That's why it's a trauma. It repeats. But something that I have to go back. I think I'm about to record this video over again. I have to go back when it comes to that female, when she listened to the snake or the serpent. It makes me wonder, did she have intercourse with it? Or did she just participate in that action? They used it in the apple form, but these are people. And then given that apple to the spouse, it's like, was that a child or like a partner, consuming it like threesomes? What? It has to be something in that form of a way. And you weren't supposed to do it. Then you tried to go and freaking hide, not realizing your level of awareness of oneness is present. And you can hear now very well. You're seeing very clear. You can't hide, even though you want to. And people, it comes in a cause and effect form where you do something and people recognize, and you're going to hear them talk amongst you about it. If that makes sense. Because of what you did. But then he actually did come. That's before they got me. Like, oh, so he really did show up. And then asked him, who told you were naked? All that type of stuff. How did you know that? The level of awareness. The level of awareness did. Do you realize, oh my God. It's like one of those, I say it a lot. I speak on this a lot as into, don't do nothing if you're afraid of the light coming on. Or, I always say there's something on the other side, but this aspect is, everything has life in it. Oh man, this is such an intriguing topic, yo. I get stuck on the interesting part. I can't get past Genesis, yo. This is only this might just be the first page. I think I'm on second page, but it's like, Jesus Christ. This book is so deep. I can't imagine getting in the middle part. The first 2 pages is just like, boy, oh boy. Let's figure out where all the trouble came from. Confusion. And that's what it is. A light and a dark. Oh, that's what I was saying. When it came to my uncle aspect, I'm probably about to die. When it came to my uncle aspect, it gets me just by the way that he behaved. He come off in that serpent energy or snake energy. Just by even how we had a conversation today, he kept telling me, working 2 jobs, my credit together and things like that. It seemed like he was being a real bachelor form of a way, like, I'm available, look at all these good qualities that I have, And it seemed like it was that same aspect where it's just like, do you see the growth? It's like a person who I don't know, it's taking me into groupie energy, honestly, when they think of females, or it can even be guys are groupies too, I have realized. When they see maybe other guys with lots of money or shiny things, they flock to them more. Or may even be sexual with them, who knows, in that form of a way. But I normally hear what they say about females, or they see they got money and flashy things, so it's like they would go and have sex with them just to be able to live that type of a lifestyle or something of that nature. It seemed like that same energy. But that same energy, that person already knew this level of awareness. Where was that? I said that. For God don't know that in a day ye eat, therefore then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. That's so freaking intriguing. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and to a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. The words in here are so intriguing to me because I be wanting to put the and stuff because I be broken English, but I don't get stuck on the overall message, honestly. But that's where a lot of confusion comes from, honestly. It's just the way that they worded it. And that's what even makes me have to pay attention more to my reality, because you literally live it. You live it, if that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that good enough. I hope I did. My mind feels so intrigued. I'm excited, just honestly, the fact that I even drew my level of awareness to do this, honestly. It's something I've been feeling the need to do. Spirit been getting on me as to, you should read your Bible, read your Bible. Actually, today, it was funny. Where was I at? I went to the doctor's to get my hand checkup, make sure it's healing right. And was that here or there? No, actually, I was already home after I came back from there, pardon me. And I think I just was checking my social medias or looking at my pictures or something like that. And then they had like a little advertisement break. And they had like a Jesus pop out on me. And he was talking about the Bible. And I was just like, oh my God. I had to look around like, oh my God, are you watching me? I'm going to read my Bible, yo. Jeez. So I thought it was funny. And then I actually wound up later on reading out of it. It was intriguing as to when you know you should be doing something, and then Spirit keep telling you, you should do this, and then you already thinking about something or feeling it, and then they have an image of Jesus pop out at you. Ha! We have audio available too for people like you. Just because ones who may say they don't have time, sometimes people you could be in your car driving, you could be in the shower, you can use it as a nighttime rest, comforting form, just to be able to receive, clean and listen. Like, you don't just have to put your exact tension there, even though your tension will be there, because whether or not you want to receive it, third eye is always available, and, your other senses will receive it, if that makes sense. So I just thought it was funny as to, okay. So I'm actually proud of myself and happy. It's just, I wanted to speak about this. I probably have to come back later on and talk about it because I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but then again, it's like I'm not learning everything so quickly. It's like it's coming in a breadcrumb form of a way. Even though I just said something yesterday, it just happened today. The same thing that I just talked about yesterday, it happened. Within my family dynamic, and then when I actually went to the Holy Book, it was the same aspect, all connected together. So it just inspired me to come and share with you guys. I guess I just am a perfectionist person, so it's just like, and I'm all scrambled all over the place, and I feel confused. It makes me say, "Oh, I hope I'm saying it right," and it's like, I know that I'm learning. I say all the time, I don't know what the heck is going on in this book, but I do say at the same time, I live it. I realize it's reality, so it's like I don't be such in a rush to go and read out of it. But it was beneficial today. It was a confirmation aspect. Oh, that too. See, that's what I mean. My mind and focusing. When I was talking to my uncle, he was telling me about 8. He said, I think he got off the horoscope aspect, and he was saying that he had 3 8s, and somebody else had told him that was good. It was an abundance form of a way. But then he said something about 333, and 1 and 4 was standing out to him. And I was like, oh my God, that's so good. Like, anytime you get 8s, trust me, it's very good. And it's intriguing because when I actually read out of King James, it was an 8 o'clock hour. And I don't work off a coincidence aspect. I believe everything happens in alignment very well. But he asked me, he said, I knew that you would know what it means. And at that moment, I said, for me, it's a yin and yang aspect, or here and after. But we continued to talk or whatever. But after we hung up, Spirit was like, we are infinity. It's an infinity energy that's available. But it took me back into us having incest, where we're naturally connected. Because what stood out to me was 33. I'll be 33 this year. And I was like, oh my God, that's so intriguing. And it's followed up by 8s back to back. That's really freaking good. But confirmation came from Genesis 3 as into that tree aspect. And something that was not supposed to happen because it brings you a level of awareness. You will receive wisdom in it. So I'm gonna leave it at that aspect. Honestly, it just made me excited to know on track, even when confused. Just having more of a level of awareness as to what's going on makes me happy and able to fix and navigate better. Because even though that's what I said to, I'm gonna say this and then I wrap it up. I said the energy I keep feeling as into would I do that again? You know, when I was younger, I didn't even know that that happened. You know, somebody else told me that it happened to me, and then once I was aware of it, I started recognizing the signs in it. I said, "Oh my God, we are connected. How intriguing!" You know. But knowing all this, and even reading out this part, realizing that was not what was supposed to freaking happen. But knowing the benefit in it, would I do it again? That's the part that triggered me. Because like I see the benefit, but it's like, no, I would not do that again, yo. Like that's just with the world. But I feel like I don't want to say the enemy because it's just like, oh, geez. Even though I do realize there's bad people, I do realize that it's just that word is a word that gets me. Where it's like I feel like I give something way more power than it should. Cause like I really feel like I don't have any enemies. Like I don't even got friends but got enemies. That's weird, yo. Like I'm just saying, for me personally, like it's weird to even think because I don't be amongst people like that. But it's like people who don't even know you don't like you. You know, it's like that have nothing to do with me personally. That's the way I look at it. That's why like every time I get ready to use that word, it's just like. But it's like I'm not a fool. I do know that there's people who don't like me or just don't like people for no reason. You know, I'm not in cuckoo land when it comes to that. It's just in cuckoo land, delusional land. I'm not in that land. I guess I just don't like to give that type of power out because, like, what? You're your own enemy. I'm not your enemy with the fooleries. Weird. That made me forget what I was saying. It's creeping up. Like, wanting to test. Like, attempting to do this foolery again. And I do know that I do generational work. And I feel like that energy is creeping back up. And it's just like, oh no. Because it's intriguing. Even how I have realized in my family generationally this has happened. We do have a good amount of new generations. And it's like, even with our level of awareness as to what we've been through, are we more cautious with our kids? Or do we just act like this never happened? Where they're going to live out the same aspect because you act like you didn't learn a lesson to do better in. So that's just another energy while I'm probably recording and sharing this. But I really do feel that energy as into creeping up, attempting to do this again. And it's literally within myself. Like this is the energy my own personal self is feeling. So it's intriguing to me, honestly.